Hi Year 5, I hope you enjoyed learning about Bridget Riley and her optical illusions or optical patterns and paintings. I think she's very clever, and I quite like the fact it's quite mathematical, because you have to be quite precise and you have to work things out and measure them. So it's a very different way of working but creates some very interesting effects. So today we're going to go on something called optical patterns, where we're going to use shape and line along with colour to create some illusions that might move. They might move when you look at them, like Bridget Riley's. Maybe a couple might move, but the aim of today really is to focus on precision. So when we are drawing things out, we are measuring, we are being accurate, like she is, because if you're not accurate, you can't create the illusion. So we'll practice it and then we'll develop it. We're going to do 6 today. Please use the document to help you on which is which, and obviously please watch this video. But I hope you enjoy, and let's make some illusions. I've just drawn out my title and my boxes. You can see there's a lot of lines on here. I need to rub some things out, but basically we've got here, that's a 6 centimetre square, so 6 by 6. There's then a 2 centimetre gap as they go down. So we've got 1, 2, 3. A 4 centimetre gap in the middle, just to give you a bit of space. And then we've got again 6 by 6, 2 centimetre gap. We've got 1, 2 and 3. I'm now just going to rub out these lines that are in between, which will then make you see the boxes more clearly. This is the best way I find to do it, because it makes everything stay in line. As you can see, obviously when we did our mark making, some of the boxes went out of line, I remember. So if you can use it like do it like a grid and then rub out the lines in between, that can be more effective. So I'll rub this out and then I'll start creating patterns. I want to talk you through drawing this out. Because we've got a square, we can use it actually to help us. Squares are really used a lot in mathematical art or optical art. So I just want to show you how I did it. So I've got my square here. You can see I've got a mark at the top and the bottom to make sure that the line stays straight. And you can see I haven't finished this one off yet, but I just wanted to give you an awareness of how to do the marks and then add in the line. And then I'm going to do the same the other way. So I'm going to create almost like a chessboard. And we're going to add black and white to this. This is going to be the first stage, which is going to be a, what do we call it, a square pattern. Okay, here's my first grid. You can see some of my marks here are slightly out of a line, but generally that is a square grid. We will come on to colour once we've done all our grids and our designs first, but that is the first one, so that's a square grid. We're now going to move on to a diagonal. Here's the diagonal. I don't know if you can see, but my centre line here, actually I put my ruler again so you can see. I started off with in the middle, so I used the ruler to go corner to corner. And then as I've spread it out, these lines here are 1/2 centimetre apart from each other. And that's how I've got the grid. You can see here I've got my marks again on my paper to make sure I'm getting it even. So that's the diagonal. Let's go on to the next one. With this one, I've just started off, as I did with the squares, I've done 1 centimetre gaps. This is where I'm getting a little bit, be aware of when you're doing your lines. Mine are coming off, so I'm just going to fix that in just a moment. But what we're going to do now is we're going to start to curve the line. So we're going to go on the line and we're going to create a curve. When you do the curves on the following lines, try and make sure they're the same type of curve so they repeat themselves. Here's my repeating curve. They're almost like skinny semicircles as they go around. I haven't intentionally done this, but you can see my curves change slightly so along the bottom. I'm just going to go with that and see what effect it creates when I add the colour. This is all about learning the process, so I'm going to leave that one. We're now going to go and do a wider curve. So this curve is quite slim, and next curve I'm going to do is just going to be quite big and go quite near the other line to see what that does. We'll then go on to triangles and finally diamonds. So here we go. So we've got a diamond shaped one now. How I've done this is I've done a line through the diagonals and the corners, and then it's just a few more lines around it. So we've got a 2 centimetre gap here, and that diagonal line follows the centre one there. And then same the other way, so 2 centimetre gap, diagonal line, diagonal line. I think we'll leave this one like this because this is a good diamond shape. or a side square. And then we'll do the last one as a triangle. We're going to do the same method for the triangle one, but add in 2 or 3 more extra lines. So here's the next one. So we are going to do diagonal lines from the corners, and then we're going to add in a 2 centimetre line as well either side. So diagonal line, diagonal line. This one is 2 centimetres away, and so is this one. I'm going to do the same on the other side to make the diamonds or the side squares. The 2 centimetre lines here and here. To finish this off, I'm just going to put a horizontal line through the crosses, so where they cross over, to turn it into triangles. So I've just put a line through the centre of where they cross over, and you can see here it's now turned that diamond or that sideways square into a pyramid or a triangle, which we can now contrast by going black, white to finish it off. I'm going to make all of them black and white today, and in future lessons we'll go on to doing contrasting colour, thinking about our colour wheel. But here it is so far, with all its details. The one thing I will do before I colour, I'm just going to rub out here the straight lines on the curved ones. They're just in between there and over here, just so I've got a nice strong line to follow, and we'll see how these look. There we go. So I've coloured in all the shapes. I've done every other one a different colour, so it goes black, white. This has taken me a bit of time, so when you are colouring in, make sure that you are as precise as possible. I've used a black felt tip that was quite thick, so I had to take my time on the small areas. You don't have to use a black felt tip if you haven't got one. You can use a black colouring pencil, but remember it's all about precision, so don't just scribble it, don't go over the lines. Really try and make sure you are making those shapes solid and strong to get the right effect. And also, if you can, like I have here, just try and style your title a bit to make the page complete and to complement what you have done. Hope you enjoy. Please upload a photo to Teams so you can get some feedback, and we'll move on next lesson, I think, to a bit of colour.